Y'all, at midnight, Melody Shari Rogers released her statement stating that she would no longer be on Love and Marriage Huntsville. After 9 seasons of sharing her life with us, she has decided to part ways with the show.
The whole fan base was shocked when Melody Shari left Love and Marriage Huntsville. To be honest, nobody anticipated this. She was the show's main character and the one who maintained perspective, so she wasn't just another cast member. She's gone now. After she had gone, the drama went on. Now that she is gone, the guy who once attempted to destroy her must confront reality. While some feel Martell saw it coming but didn't believe it, others say he was taken by surprise. In any case, he didn't respond silently.
So whenever we tend to be rejected, that hurts our soul, us emotionally. That'll make us do things that we shouldn't do. Once we feel that rejection, and I felt it. My ex, she felt it, and that caused us to do things that have hurt. Because of that rejection. I didn't think that I would be the person to, going through this divorce, breaking down and crying and stuff like that. I'd never been a person to cry.
Right.
But this situation made me a little emotional and things like that, especially, my kids, I love them so much.
Melody Shari was the real deal and not just another Love and Marriage Huntsville cast member. She was the center of attention from the beginning. Her ability to persevere and rise above the chaos, even when everything around her was crumbling, won her fans. She was the main attraction of the show, not simply its face. Even though Melody appeared to be a self-assured, prosperous mother and businesswoman, she was actually going through some incredibly difficult times behind the scenes. Martell Holt was a constant source of turmoil. He seemed determined to make her life as miserable as possible, even after their divorce. Every season, he came up with a new way to get her into problems, whether it was by distributing gossip, attacking her parenting, or attempting to incite the other cast members against her. Furthermore, some of her co-stars weren't exactly her biggest admirers, so it wasn't just Martell who was stirring things up. Several of the alliances that were emerging did not help her. Even without the cameras rolling, the tension was palpable. The producers were interested in Melody's disarray, thinking it would make for entertaining television. Did they intentionally place her in challenging circumstances to make the drama more intense? It certainly appeared to be. Despite everything, the Melody went on. She concentrated on becoming the greatest mother she could be, her music and her companies. However, it was evident that she was beginning to lose her mind. She was exhausted from all the backstabbing, arguing, and negativity. Over the past few seasons, fans have seen a change in her excitement. After being quite interested in the show, she appeared to be losing interest in it. In retrospect, it's evident that her departure was anticipated for some time. This had been simmering for years before Melody made the decision to leave. No one believed she would truly depart, especially not in this manner, despite the symptoms. Let's discuss your ethics, or lacking them. Now, let's discuss your integrity, or lack of it. Let's discuss that. Let's now discuss a few topics that do have some depth. Second, after your partner filed for bankruptcy, you're talking about me doing the same, darling. Following his filing. Not because I couldn't manage it, but because I didn't want everything to fall on me. Let's be clear about the facts. However, you have undoubtedly kept listening to all of his falsehoods. Rumors of a major war behind the scenes had been going on for months, but Martell was rekindling it. But he seemed to be getting away with it this time. He was given a platform to meddle in Melody's life rather than being punished. Additionally, the cast's dynamics were changing. Melody began to feel less dependent on others and more alone. The network comes next. Drama is the main focus of reality TV, and viewers were enthralled with Melody's personal life. But was she being compelled to remain in perilous circumstances? Did the producers' prescribed narratives prevent her from finding solace? Asking yourself if it's still worth it is necessary when you're constantly surrounded by negativity. However, what had caused her to leave? Something big that made her feel powerless must have been the tipping point. Was it yet another cast member's betrayal? A power grab behind the scenes that left her in a difficult situation? Or was she ejected by Martell? Without a doubt, Melody was making a statement when she departed a television program. A statement that she was sick of being the focus of other people's drama, sick of being dominated, and sick of playing a part that no longer fit her. Even if her leaving is shocking, the real question is what she will do next.
About your morals or lack thereof. Let's talk about your integrity or lack thereof. Let's talk about that. Okay? Let's talk about some stuff that actually has a little bit of substance. Okay? Secondly, girl, you're talking about I filed bankruptcy. Yes, sweetie. After your boyfriend filed. After he filed. So I didn't want everything to fall on me, not because I couldn't take care of everything. So let's get the facts straight. But I'm sure you have still continued to listen to all the lies that he gave. You know what? I finally understand why you was able to be a side chick for 5 years, because you dumb.
Martell's first response to Melody's announcement that she was quitting Love and Marriage Huntsville was extremely taciturn. The man who had been destroying Melody's life for years seemed to not care. He pretended that her leaving didn't affect him and that it didn't sting. However, as everyone who knows Martell knows, there's typically something going on below his cool exterior. The mask turned out to be simple to take off. Melody was at the center of Martell's whole plot, including their marriage, divorce, and conflicts after the split. Their romance dominated everything. What was left for him without Melody? He was no longer the prosperous husband and father he had claimed to be, his business endeavors had failed, and his reputation was in ruins. So was he more concerned about what it meant for him, or was he truly sad about Melody leaving? Consider it. Will the performance even make it without Melody? More significantly, would Martell still be significant? In fact, he spent a significant amount of his screen time debating with Melody. He got exposure because of their close co-parenting relationship, their back-and-forth disputes, and his persistent efforts to change the past. What remained now that Melody was gone? With whom would he argue? When he made things up, who would question him? Not only was Martell losing his ex-wife from the show, but he was also losing his plot, his narrative control, and the person who most exposed his behavior. And he was struck deeply by that. When Melody finally left, Martell's actions altered. He began to tease Melody and appear up more frequently. He kept bringing her up, which said it all, even if he seemed to be unconcerned. Then the true question surfaced. Without Melody, what function did Martell serve on the show? Would he become a supporting character or be able to stand alone? I apologize to you from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry, I think things wouldn't be this way if I had known then what I know now. Do you think that makes sense? Well, you ought to have paid attention. After Melody left, everything was different. This presented a significant challenge for the developers. The highlight of the performance was the Melody. Fans could identify with her, she kept viewers interested, and her life provided the show's most authentic, pure moments. Once she was gone, the whole dynamic had to change. The question now is, who will replace her? Letitia and Kimmy, among other cast members, may view this as their chance to shine. In the show's bigger conflicts, they have always taken a back seat. But now that Melody is gone, there is a power vacuum. Will they attempt to take center stage and steal the show? Can they truly take Melody's place if they do? Martell comes next. He likely thinks this is his opportunity to steal the show because Melody isn't there. What's wrong, though? Melody has always been central to his story. Does he have enough to support his own story without her? People will do crazy things when they are desperate. And if Martell begins to battle for attention, we may see him attempting to create drama in novel ways. Will Lamb ever be able to function without Melody, in addition to the more general question? Her courage, presence, and life experience helped shape the program. Her departure presents a significant obstacle for the producers. How do they maintain the audience's interest? Because whether you like her or not, one thing is certain. Love and Marriage without Melody Shari, Huntsville won't be the same. This marks the end of Shari Rogers' tenure on Love and Marriage Huntsville. She has formally stated her intention to leave the reality TV show. As you can see, there had been numerous indications that Melody was over with Carlos Anon. She commented on social media, unfollowed him, and most recently disclosed problems with the show's production. According to reports, she felt retaliated against after she declined a producer's offer to be her TV manager. A significant leak completely upended our plans just when we believed we had everything worked out. It appears that Melody may not have been alone when she abruptly fled. According to a conversation that was made public, she was forced out rather than simply walking away. What actually took place behind the scenes then? There had been a persistent rumor for months that Melody felt somewhat isolated. The cast's shifting allegiances and potential producer interference were obviously putting a lot of strain on her, and the dispute with Martell had already damaged her. However, this disclosure modifies the rules. It suggests that she may have been expelled. Did the makers make a modification with this? Top performers on a number of reality shows have been sacked because they believe they are gaining too much influence. Huh.